Hello friends, my name is Chandra Shekhar Verma. Chandra Shekhar Verma. Chandra Shekhar Verma. Now you must be wondering, why did I repeat my name? I said it thrice, 3 times. Because I want you to remember my name by saying it again and again, Chandra Shekhar Verma, Chandra Shekhar Verma, in different types and styles. I'm trying to get into your minds so that you don't forget me. You know what I'm doing? I'm branding myself. Yeah, that is branding. When a certain name of a product gets into your mind and stays there for a very long time, that means the product has created a brand for itself. Now, you may wonder why people pay so much of attention and money to create this brand. Let's try and understand why creating a brand is important. You must be using toothpaste every morning. So, which toothpaste do you use? Colgate, Promise, Sibaka? There may be 10 brands, but you use only one of them. And remember, the products are more or less the same. But you may think that X product is better than the Y product because it has some qualities, some ingredients, whatever. So what happens that these products have successfully created a name for themselves, and that name has been transferred to your mind. So how do we create a brand? Now, you have a product, and that product may have its niche segment. Let's say that you have a product. Let us stick to the product of toothpaste, and let me call my brand as Close Up. Now, the millions and millions of people using toothpaste, different age groups, different regions, different genders, and you cannot have a general product which will appeal everyone. So you need to have a segment. Let's say my segment is young adult, boys and girls in the age group between 18 and 15. Now my next question is, what are their priorities when they're using toothpaste? Health? Maybe. Cleaning of the teeth? Maybe. Fresh breath? Certainly yes. All right. So if I have to cater to the age group of 18 to 15, I'll add the freshness element in my product. So what do? I make my toothpaste to move from the traditional white to a red gel or a blue gel, having the freshness and spark. I have catered to a particular segment, that is young adults between 18 to 15, by creating a different product. I need to keep my product unique. Again, there will be 10 products, but you need to market and position your product so that you have a distinctive style. Let's talk about the black colas. And if I say which one of them, the 3 black colas which are very commonly used, Coke, Pepsi, and Thumbs Up. And if I ask you which one reminds you of adventure, immediately you will say Thumbs Up, Tufani, and some kind of name which they use to create the adventure. So this gives them a distinct style. And always remember, Thumbs Up is an Indian brand struggling pretty well to be in the market amongst the big names of Coke and Pepsi. Also, what kind of emotions customers have about your product? Brand always should have some kind of emotional appeal. Remember the ad? Is it Dove or Love? So that's the emotional appeal that product has, and it connects really well. The Johnson baby, the Saffola oil, everything has an emotional side to it. Now, if you have to define a brand, now let me ask you a question. Where does the brand live? No, it does not live in the marketplace. In the marketplace, only the product lives. Brand lives in the mind. So, brand is actually a mean through which people recognize your company, product, or service. It's the sum of all the values, all the traits, all the qualities put together. That is the vast definition of brand. Let's look at the brand guide step by step. The first step, which I want to discuss with you, is the brand identity. Branding is an activity that is required by a business to establish a viewpoint and take a stance on what they value as business. Remember, there are two, three key points here. One, it needs to take a stance, a unique stance, a remarkable stance, which is able to create a different image for that product in the minds of the customer. And this could be established by certain elements like color, the brand ambassador, the logo. So there could be certain elements which create this brand activity. If I do a swoosh sign like this and ask you, this swoosh sign reminds you which shoe product, you'll immediately say Nike. Yes, Nike has that brand identity. Secondly, the brand voice. Do you sometimes listen to brands? Do they speak? Yes, they do. You know what? Some 5 years ago, when Samsung had not captured the market from Nokia phones, Nokia had about 63% market share in India. Now, 63% market share meant almost 40 crores phones. And out of these 40 crore phones, 20 crores were having the Nokia ringtone. And these phones, on average, let's say, would ring for 6 times in a day. I'm taking a very minimum number. At least 6 times everybody would get a call. So these 20 crores phones were ringing 6 times. The Nokia ringtone in this country was ringing about 120 crores times. The voice of Nokia was heard all over the country. I'm sure most of you would remember the Nokia tune also. Let's go back. Branding is nothing new. The Doordarshan signature tune, the Akashvani signature tune, the Vivid Bharati signature tune, and coming forward, Airtel had its own signature tune. Not only mobile phone companies, most of the product have a signature tune. So this is the voice of the brand, the language, tone, and also you may include the brand ambassadors. They are also voice of the brand, but we will cover the brand ambassador in other segment also. A brand promise. See, why would you purchase a particular brand? If we talk about the morning tea and along with that, your favorite biscuit, most of you will say Parle G. Now, why would you pick up Parle G? Let me tell you, many products can replace the taste or at least equal it. So, what gives you that distinction? It is the promise that you make to your customers, it is the trust. Why would people trust Horlicks for the health of their children, or Complan or Bonvita for that matter, for the health of their children? It's risky. And go to earlier ages of a child. Johnson baby, you are using that product on a baby who's about 5 days or 6 days old. Aren't you trusting that brand? So when you trust that brand, it is only because a brand is making a certain promise to you. Then comes brand positioning. We just talked about the segment of promise toothpaste. You need to keep in mind which segment you are targeting. Now, many marketers make this mistake that they try to get more and more universality in that product. which is grossly incorrect. You may begin with a small segment, and then if it grows, that's all right. There are certain products who have a lot of universal appeal, but to begin with, you should focus on a segment, and that is what we called brand positioning. Now, what happens, since most of the advertising agencies are not experienced in this field, they make a mistake and products get a confused positioning. The positioning should be very clear, and then you cater to the segments as a pilferage. That's all right. Let's talk about the positioning of Cadbury chocolates. What are they trying to do? Given a chance, Pepsi would cater to the kids only. But they know it very well. There's no formidable competition for Cadbury's in the chocolate segment. The other two chocolates, Nestle and Amul, have a very small market share. So they know that when children want to have chocolate, they will go for Cadbury's. Now, looking at the big picture, what segment would Cadbury try to work on? They work on young adults, they work on traditional families, and they work on old people also. They are trying to replace the traditional sweets. Look at any festival where traditionally sweets are eaten, for example, Diwali, Eid, or Raksha Bandhan. They Around these festivals you see lot of advertising, the celebration packaging of Cadbury's, and they have Amitabh Bachchan as the brand ambassador. Why? Because Mr. Bachchan is liked by all the segments, young kids, young adults, and also old people. So Mr. Bachchan has that appeal where he can push a product in the minds of the entire family. They know they already have captured the market of the young children, so they cater to the young adults and middle-aged people. So brand positioning, you need to be very clear that which segment you are catering. There's an interesting part of brand story. Let me analyze this for you. If I pick up Levi's jeans, what is the brand story? Brand story is that pants are cumbersome. Pants are very formal. Pants are out. So in an environment where you can wear casual, in an environment where you have to go for a party or just for a stroll, be with friends, you can wear something which is comfortable, which is easy to wear, and you don't have to wash it every day. So jeans, Levi's jeans may have created this story. Once they create their story, any brand for that matter, once they create a story, then they work upon it. Then all the advertisements are designed, even sometimes logos or sub logos are designed. You work on your target segment and design all your advertising. It's possible that for my segment, according to my story, print ads are useless. So I may go for outdoor, I may go for BTL advertising. That all depends on the story behind that brand. Always remember, whatever you see on television, any brand, you love those ads sometimes, but remember there's a story, long story behind every brand. Next point is brand perception. Now, story is the marketer's part. I have that thing in my mind, but you as a customer may perceive it differently or in the same manner. So, what is your perception? How do you see a brand? That's the brand perception. I may market it for A segment, but A segment may not like it, and it is liked by the B segment. So, that depends on the perception of the people. I'll give you a very simple example for brand equity. Imagine a condition where Coca-Cola has to sell the company, the entire company. So what are the assets? They have infrastructure, they have some factories and plants, and offices. They have a capital. Obviously, they must be having some huge capital in the accounts. Then they have properties. Then they have manpower. So you'll pay for each one of them. And obviously, I'm not calculating the amount. I cannot. But I haven't talked about the most expensive asset Coca-Cola has. It is the brand Coca-Cola. So some $1,000 million, that is the equity of Coca-Cola. So brand equity is the cost or perceived cost of a particular brand. So as I said that we will come back to brand ambassador, I'll give you a very interesting example. Long time ago, some 8-10 years ago, Bank of Baroda went for a revamp. So they designed a new logo and a new color. If I remember correctly, they had a yellow board with a blue circle kind of a thing which said Bank of Baroda. It was a very old design and probably made when this bank was nationalized by Indira Gandhi ji. So they wanted to have a revamp. And for that, they needed a brand ambassador. Now, with banks, they prefer not to have film stars. Instead, the other category of celebrities which come from the sporting field, and cricket is very preferred, as we all know. So they had to pick up a cricketer. Sachin was very busy, and I think he was engaged by ICICI Bank, so he was out of question. Now the next choice was between two star batsmen of India at that point of time, Virender Sehwag and Rahul Dravid. So who would they pick up? For a bank, they wanted somebody who could communicate what? Study, strength, wall. So they went for Rahul Dravid. Imagine Sehwag being the brand ambassador of Bank of Baroda. What image did he project that one time? He would be frivolous. He may hit a ball for a six or get out. But Rahul Dravid was a safe batsman, and banks wanted to project that safety in the minds of their customers. So they picked up Rahul Dravid. So when you have to get a brand ambassador, always think of your brand as a person. Personify your brand and see who fits in there. Pepsi, as I said, caters to young people. As soon as Shah Rukh Khan touched 40, he was out, Ranveer Kapoor was in. Because they cannot afford to have a 50-year-old man advertising for Pepsi. Similarly, after Sachin, it was Virat Kohli who came in. So I hope that I've been able to tell you basics about branding. I wish that you remember all this which I've said. This is Chandrasekhar Verma signing off. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you.